Investors keep confusing themselves.
Is there a reason for the sizes?
This is what happened after Expo. It will be a good investment, but it won't appreciate or increase rental return. I think this is the next big thing. These things actually make people to, okay, I want to live in this life.
Welcome to today's podcast with Mr. Hamid Khwaja, the co-founder of Footprint Real Estate. Hi, Mr. Hamid.
Hi.
So, Mr. Hamid, we know that in Dubai's real estate, high rental returns and capital appreciation is the main focus of any investor here in Dubai. So in each of these cases, what's the best guidance to get the best results?
Thank you, Lean. Thank you for this podcast. Lean, your question is very good. It's it's a very simple answer to this, but investors keep confusing themselves. They're looking at the property to get appreciations and good rental return, and they keep choosing a property which is actually going to help you with only one factor. So, for example, when we talk about affordable housing, we are talking about a good rental returns. But we all have seen historically in Dubai, appreciations on affordable housings are not that much unless if it's a very new development compared to the properties which are on the islands, on the seaside, or properties which are nearby the downtowns or iconic area. So my suggestion to the client is that if you're looking for such property, you have to see why this area is going to be more valuable. And the reasons which makes it more valuable in Dubai is first is island living, anything on the sea. So we have seen Blue Water, we have seen Lamir, we have seen Bulgari Island. They have appreciated a lot in Palm Jumeirah. And these areas, when they appreciate, the rental returns also goes very high. So of course, if your initial rental returns are around 5%, 5.5%, with those appreciations, those returns actually increase also. Of course, they're not going to go to 9 or 10%, but that appreciation is more than 100 and 120%. We have seen 150% on Bulgari Island. These properties are more demanded because these are very few buildings, very few units. They're not available in abundance that you have 20,000 units or 15,000 units. These kind of properties are very valuable. Same thing we have seen in downtown. Properties which are facing the fountain or Burj Khalifa are more valuable. They appreciate more quicker. In the same building, a unit which is facing on the backside, it won't appreciate the same way. But of course, it will not cost you that much also. But the rental return is for the properties which are actually facing the fountain or Burj Khalifa. So there should be a reason to your property. There should be selected units. It should be unique. You will pay more to buy such property, but they will appreciate a lot more than a very affordable or cheaper units. Like we see the example of, without taking much of, names, but let's say, for example, if you buy something in Discovery Garden, you buy something in International City, and you have the same type of studios in one bedroom, there are a lot more in units. There are a lot more in numbers. So if an investor is ready to sell, for example, in 500,000, and the buyer is saying, I want to buy in 450,000. And this investor said, no, I don't want to sell. I want to sell in 500. But there are actually 19,000 more clients who own units, and they might negotiate because there are 19,000 chances. Because you have total, let's say 19,001 studios. That's not the case what happens in Blue Water or Palm Jumeirah. In Blue Water, we are talking about 12 to 14 buildings. Not everything is water facing. Not everything is Dubai eye facing. There are very few, and the segregation is very good. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 bedrooms. So the number of the units are very less. So that these kind of areas, they appreciate a lot more.
Okay, so you mentioned the affordable housing, that it gives you high rental return. So how do you segregate the affordable housing, and what makes a certain affordable housing more valuable?
See, if we come to affordable housing, it's a very good debate category to discuss about. We have a lot of affordable housing in last 10 years, which are being introduced because Dubai has become expensive. But with that, Dubai has become a kind of country where the people income is increasing also. So there's this common sense saying, Dubai is expensive, but Dubai is actually your income is increasing also. So that's why there's a lot more demand of affordable housing. We have seen a lot of category of affordable housing on Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. We have seen a few of them near Al Khail Road, but now those actually, there are a lot of more new communities on Al Khail Road become luxury communities like Dubai Hills. We saw the prices in Medan. So when you go talk about affordable housing, one thing I always tell investors to keep a note of, in your consumer, the consumer who's going to live or buy your affordable housing, he should be working very nearby your community. So if you're buying in a community, see who is going to be the consumer. The biggest example is Forjan. Look at the prices in Forjan. So when Al Asail Street came, connecting Jebel Ali with Furjan, prices have shoot up. The rentals are very high. We're talking about two-bedroom at 120 to 125 K per year. The reason is because there's a lot of people living in Jebel Ali, and they want to stay nearby their offices. They don't want to drive so much. So that's why this affordable have actually boomed a lot. On the other side, the sports city rentals didn't increase much because the consumers are not so near. So if a Media City guy or Sheikh Zayed guy who want to go and live in this side, so the first option he will have is Arjan. He will have JVC. Even though then if he want pay more, he can go to Motor City. By the time he reaches Sports City, there's a lot more consumer or tenants are being taken by these areas. So if you're buying an affordable housing, your the consumer should be working nearby. So for example, Silicon Oasis. If you are in Silicon Oasis, most of the people are from academic city. So we have students, we have teachers, faculty who are living there. Dubai outsource zone is over there. All those who are working there, they prefer to stay in Dubai Silicon Oasis rather than drive so far away or go some other location. On the other side, international city also. If you're looking at international city, there's a lot of consumers who are working in Dragon Mart, and then we have food and vegetable market. A lot of people or companies who are operating there, they prefer to let their staff stay or let their staff their families or them to stay in international city or in Al Warsan 4, which is international city phase 2. So affordable housing should be selected where you understand that there's a lot of consumers working nearby. That's how the price will appreciate. That's how the rental will appreciate also.
Okay. So also, you once I heard you mentioning the fact that a lot of people, when Burj Khalifa was being built, they focused on buying because they thought like it will bring them a lot of appreciation, a lot of capital. But what you described it as, it was like sentimental driven market. Can you expand on that?
See, Dubai is very sentiment driven market, and we have seen this many times happen. I remember when Burj Khalifa was announced and there was huge demand, people buying in downtown, they want to buy units in downtown. Today, when downtown is fully developed, most of them are being launched or developed or handed over. We saw the most valuable unit is the one which is facing the fountain or Burj Khalifa. Now, I bought, for example, in Tower A, and my unit, I was thinking it was so good. It's nearby Burj Khalifa, but my unit is facing on the other side. I bought at that time and with sentiment, Burj Khalifa, and I want to buy. And we saw the prices of some of the units went up to 6,000, 7,000 per square feet. It was in 2006 and 7. But now when the market is done, adjusted, ready, delivered, we saw the most valuable is the one which is actually going to have throughout the day show. I call it throughout the day show. You're looking at the Burj Khalifa, you're having a show. Evening time, you have those laser rides and fountain. So that time, people invested in everything. Now you understand the market adjusted node. The one which is facing has more value. Same thing happened when Expo was announced. Expo announced, no one was understanding what is going to happen in Expo. Everyone was just crazy, I want to increase the price. I want to buy expensive, and they're buying. They don't understand what exactly is going to happen after Expo. This is what happened after Expo. We got COVID. We got Expo. After Expo, a lot of people came to know Dubai is the country or the city to live. That's a life we want. Those people who came to attend Expo, they understand we need to move our businesses. Look at the amount of people move in Dubai post Expo. That's what actually is. It's not about just the marketing or people reaching out or because of the situations in the country. No, Expo introduced the rest of the world what Dubai is. And then you can see we have a lot of people from UK, from India, from South Asia, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh. They are moving to come work, settle here, including with their families. And we saw a lot of big international universities and colleges are opening here. Like in Academy City, you see Birmingham University, Harvard is there for a long time. We saw the Canadian University. So these all actually is a part of introducing the system, what it is. So sentiment driven is that, oh, you feel everything is happening. I want to buy, but you don't know exactly what happened or what will happen after that.
Like the best analysis, yeah, to take one.
And I will say the best way of doing it, if you are actually investing in something, see what is happening in this kind of property in last 10 or 20 years. So for example, if you're buying, let's say today in Maritime, and you're confused, are the prices high? Should I buy or not? Just look at the island livings, communities which are being developed or handed over before that. What happened with them? So what are those communities? Blue Water, Palm Jumeirah, Lamid, Bulgaria Island appreciated more than 100 and 150%. So maritime is going to appreciate also. And again, how many buildings we are talking about? We are hardly talking about 42, 47 buildings on island. And we are talking about those with all of them having a sea view. So they will appreciate. Same with the Mina Rashi. Beautiful concept. No high rise, low rise buildings with that open living, and you have boats and yachts. And it is right in the heart of the city in Burdubay. That's a trading market, gold market, everything is over there. These are the areas which will appreciate. Why? Because from last 20 years, anything on those islands have appreciated a lot. So you have to see traditionally what was happening in this country in last 20 years. Based on that, you do your next investment. Not about tomorrow something is announced, they're going to be a new big tower, and you start buying over there without understanding what exactly is going.
Sentiment driven, yeah.
Yeah, so sentiment driven market actually land you sometimes on an investment, which actually nothing is bad, but you have to hold it for long.
So, Mr. Hamid, I observed that we have covered enough about apartments. So let's move right now into villas and townhouses communities. When someone wants to approach these communities, what's the best way to take?
So very good question. When we come to townhouses and villas, it's a whole different thing. And we have seen some of the communities doing so good, even they were not right on Sheikh Zayed Road or they were not on islands, but they have appreciated a lot more compared to the prices they have bought. See, if you're buying a townhouse or villa, the first thing you have to see in that gated community is the amount of green area and facilities you have. Regardless, you're buying a small townhouse or you're buying a big mansion, this plays a big role in this country. We have seen actually appreciation on Barari. We have seen appreciation on Jumeirah Gulf states. These are quite old communities, but they've become very green, very unique, more green area, more facilities. We have seen also appreciation in Damak, Damak Hills 1. We have seen also appreciation in Damak Hills 2. The reason is the amount of amenities and facilities. So if someone is choosing a townhouse or villa, he wants more open air living. He wants more actually square feet. And then he's looking for more area to actually enjoy in terms of facility, not just to be within his house or unit. That's where the price have appreciated a lot. And we saw if your villa community also is going to be a bit unique concept. We have recently seen a lot of concept of forest living came in after Barari being very successful. We have seen Talal Al Garf had done actually Majid Al Futem development. They have done golf boats, and we have seen Shoba doing the Alwoods. These are very good concepts because people who got money, people who want to live in a bigger units, people who want to actually invest in a bigger square feet, they want this kind of living where there will be more green area, there will be more amenities, more facilities. So if you're buying in a villa community, even if you're buying a small townhouse, just see how much more area you can access apart from your own unit. Do you have a jogging track? Do you have a park within the community, but a bigger one? Do you have more water activities in your community? Because that's what I mean. It's if I'm living in a villa, I might not go to those water activities more than 5 or 10 times in a year. But that actually will help me to have that living style, understanding, feeling more relaxed, and then the new investor coming in, he want to see those facilities in the community, and he is going to pay more in order to buy a unit in the same community. So looking at more green area, more amenities in your community, that's very, very vital. If you're buying something on a Sheikh Zayed Road or you're buying something on Al Khail Road, but it's a very small gated community, not much parks, not much green area, not much facilities, it will be a good investment, but it won't appreciate or increase rental return because you don't have additional things to offer. This is how we have seen, because if you're talking about something 15 years before, we didn't have much gated communities. Now we have more options. Now when we have more options, we start looking at which one is appreciating a lot. Even if the communities are upgrading, if they were old, launched or sold 15 years back, and now people are upgrading, they're still appreciating. Look at Barari, prices have gone up to 50, 55 million. And at one time, we were talking about 15, 16 million, but now it's 50 million on an upgraded unit is because that green living. So you need to have these factors. You just cannot, make a very small community with all the townhouses, no parks, no additional amenities. These are very important.
So this is what's inspiring people when it comes to buying in townhouses and villas. Also, you once mentioned that some people are inspired to buy in downtown, and some people are inspired more to buy in seaside. What's the difference between the buyers of this area and the buyers of this area?
So I think here, of course, around 20-30% of the buyers, they have done their market study and they're well knowledgeable. I can say even 20% only. 80% will always follow their real estate agent or their investor consultant guidance where to invest. You need to understand client's requirement. If someone is buying in downtown or buying in a seaside, he's impressed from the lifestyle of JBR. He's impressed from blue water. He's not someone at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. at night when it's dark, he will go home or he will go only to the mall for an activity. No, he wants more life outside his house. He wants to see that. So we used to call it 24 hours lifestyle because as soon as morning 7 to evening 7 is done, it's a light time, everything is nice, everything is good. But evening time, you have seen gated communities or affordable housing people, they start moving towards the malls, they start going towards the beaches. They start even going towards the JBR, and we see a lot of them going to the blue water. But these communities, then they hold value because after 7 p.m., there's a light, there's a new lifestyle. In December, throughout, you will see fireworks happening there on any festive, any special occasion, light work, laser work is going on. This year, we have seen drone shows are happening. These are the things which actually makes more additional value, more things happening around my house. So these are the factors. So when we talk about downtown, we all know that throughout the year, any New Year, any Independence Day, any National Day, we see Burj Khalifa lighting. Burj Khalifa is putting the show on there. Any new star, any new successful, movie or anything happening around the world, Burj Khalifa is actually putting up on the laser show. These things actually make people to, okay, I want to live in this life. I want to see something happening after 7 p.m. also.
So yeah, it's the difference between it's either private lifestyle or the lively lifestyle. Okay. So also I was curious concerning the Dubai Island area because recently in the real estate community there's a lot of hype about it. A lot of people are talking about it. What's your thoughts on the Dubai Island?
I think this is the next big thing. This is next big thing for many reasons. So now when we talk about blue water, we talk about Palm Jumeirah, we talk about Lamir or even Bulgari Island, they are matured. These communities have been completed. They have reached to their, that the prices where we talk about, okay, it's being on the top side. Even some of the areas just got handed over now or they're being handing over like Lamir. So prices have reached to that maturity, which normally we receive at the time of the handover. And then more appreciations will come in next 2-3 years. But when we talk about Dubai Island, Mina Rashid, Blue Water, these are the three next island livings in Dubai, and they are actually under development. So I feel these are the next best investment areas where you should invest, where you should put your money because it's under development. By the time 3 to 5 years, we're talking about the handovers coming in. We're talking about more area developing. We'll see some of the boulevards, some of the commercial activities up and running over there. You will see a lot more appreciation starting over there. So it's the best investment area. Now, when you talk about Dubai Island, out of these three, Dubai Island is very, you can say it's a lot more buildings, but it keeps additional value. So you have a public beach, you have buildings with a private beach. You're going to have townhouses and villas on the other islands where some of them are sold and the other islands are coming. You will have a golf course on the sea. It's something very new for Dubai. You have a marine life there, so you can have your boats and yachts park over there. You will have resorts within the community, and you will have buildings with the bigger sizes. That was something very interesting I've seen. That in Dubai Island, master developer have kept all the developers to not go below 1,250 average area. It means the sizes cannot be small.
Is there a reason for the sizes?
So they wanted this area to have bigger sizes unit and not to have so many units. So that's hold the value. And then I saw the distance or the amount of gap required between the buildings development and how much bylaws they have to keep gap between is a lot more compared to what we have seen in other areas. So it means all those buildings will have more open area, more to see towards the water side or towards the open air. There's a lot more open visual rather than buildings blocking each other. This is one of the factor.
So any investor should keep in mind Dubai Island. It's the
Dubai,
future is
of
coming.
course,
Is
you
coming.
have only freehold island within Dera, and right next to the trade market, you're right next to the Gold Soap market, which is the oldest Dubai developed area, which is not a freehold. And you have a freehold, and that with an island, public beach, resort living, best investment. Any developer, just go ahead, invest there, come back after 5 years, you will say, I made an appreciation and I have a good rental return.
Interesting, interesting. So yeah, these are very interesting information in an insight into the real estate market of Dubai. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamid, for all the information that you've given us today. And yeah, definitely we're gonna be looking for more.
Thank you. See you again. Thank you.